We are live, Jay. How are you?
I am absolutely incredibly good. Just came from one of our Global Lounge monthly calls with about 35 people from all over the world sharing their JVs and telling us how they're coping with this crazy entertainment. And I'm very happy to be with you and happy, well, I guess on this, I did wish you a happy birthday on the right day, but happy belated birthday in sort of person. Oh, did you freeze, my love? You are stuck. I cannot see you. I think I am still live, but you are looking very, very still. I am not sure what's going on there. You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. There we go. Oh, there we go. I got you back. You froze for a moment, but you're back now, my dear.
I did. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, it seems like we're on 4 channels live right now. And LinkedIn was having an issue, so we're not live on LinkedIn, but we are on all my other ones, including YouTube and 3 Facebook pages. So
nice.
I got that done. And everyone, you have to put up with me today because this is my very first time on StreamYard, and I've seen Jay do it, and it's like nothing when you do it, and I'm sitting here going, ah.
but you know what? I still haven't figured out how to just connect my darn YouTube channel. So that the connection piece I haven't done yet. And it's funny, we were talking in our staff meeting yesterday of that is something that we have got to get done, because I've been doing, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 of these darn things a week now since the world came screeching to a halt for physical and in-person events.
So everyone, I need to, first of all, I'm Tony Kaufman, and if you're in any of my locations on Facebook, the big locations, I've got a bunch of I've got 41 sites. Do you know that on social media? And Jay, I got to tell you, I don't know what in the world I'm doing right, but I did I was talking with Donnie Boivins from the Badass Business Summit.
Yep.
And we were comparing how many hits and views and all that kind of stuff that we're getting to see if, our strategies are working. And I had in 0.64 seconds, 5.3 million things that I'm listed on Google.
Good Lord, woman.
And the entire first page of Google is all me. It's all, it's not a bunch of other people with the same name. So I'm doing something right. I just don't know what it is.
Well, I don't know about you, but there are so many things that are changing and underway that this is such a fantastic opportunity to, quite literally create real estate online, to strengthen relationships with the people that are going to be with us today, tomorrow, and the far future. As challenging as it is, it's also pretty freaking tremendous. So good for you.
We don't even know how much of an impact you're making. The idea is just start, just try. And for our viewers today, I'm Tony Kaufman, and I welcome you. You're home, so sit down and relax. Take the shoes off. Sit a spot. What is it? Sit a spell.
I'm putting my feet up on my desk. See,
there you go. We're both putting our. But I want to introduce you to Jay, and although he doesn't need an introduction to most of my world of speakers, authors, healers, and coaches, I do want to tell you that after about, I believe it was 3.5 years of going to a lot of live events, once I decided to venture into this new world of public speakers, authors, healers, and coaches, it was this man that I decided would be my mentor in this world, and I have never looked back. We have had so much fun in the past 2 years, and the people that he brings with him, his students, and his brand have literally helped me create my brand over the last couple of years. And Jay, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, first of all, for being a hell of a mentor. And then now that we're so serious, let's screw it. This is Jay Fiset.
Well, you know what? It's always an honor and privilege to work with people who get shit done. And you are a fascinating and amazing woman. And the more we work together, the more I discover the amazing other things that you have done as well. And I admire and respect you. I think you're an amazing person, and thank you for having me on the show.
Well, and I do need to tell you that being raised in a very small town in Texas,
Mhm.
which was Mission, Texas, is where I was born and raised in the Rio Grande Valley, way down at the bottom of the Texas. Let's put it this way: some people say Houston is South Texas. I'm 5.5 hours down from Houston.
Good Lord.
Yeah. When I used to work for a mall company, we had 11 malls, and they kept trying to ask me to go to El Paso. And my response was, well, can I go to Chicago? And they said, why? I said, because it's closer. Chicago is closer to Houston than El Paso is. So just to give you the breadth of this state, it's just amazing.
I haven't spent much time there, but it genuinely is vast, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And it's so different. I mean, you go from, the salt flat, so to speak, here or it's not salt flats. It's like the Gulf of Mexico, which is 1 hour to the east of me. And which is why Houston's at zero, sea level,
Yeah.
because we're right here at the Gulf of Mexico. And then, and this is all pine trees. It's got the most gorgeous, Bigfoot country, kind of
Mhm.
thing. And then you move into the hill country, which has all the vastness of the big cattle ranches. And probably last time I counted, there was over 20 vineyards in the hill country in Austin and Wimberley and that entire wonderful place. Lots of German towns, lots of Polish families. There's just some incredible things going on in the center of the state. And then you go all the way out, and that's what people think all of Texas looks like. Like the little dry bushes rolling across the highway, and the oil wells, and the desert, and that's the El Paso side. So you've got all these variations of the state of Texas, and it's, with a 1 day drive, you can see a lot of different topography. I imagine close to what you experience in Calgary in your state.
Well, Alberta is a pretty astounding province, but we are, in terms of vastness, and I don't know how this compares to Texas because I've never looked it up, but here's how I always describe it to folks, is that California has approximately the same population as the entire country of Canada, and California would fit inside of 2/3 of my home province. And that's it. Like that. That's it. And in fitting in that 2/3 of my home province, it gives you the vastness of Canada. Like we are actually physically larger than the U.S., but our density is just so much smaller. So we do see a broad range in terms of a little prairie, the mountains, all those sorts of things. But it's cool, and in the face of COVID-19, a little bit of social distancing is it helps. So we're not so close up here.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm now I've been in Houston since 1987, and before that, spent 2 years in Austin. I had a TV show that ran there, and then before that, my entire life was in the Rio Grande Valley. And what I'm getting at is that the main reason I even brought that up is because I came to realize as I was growing up that if we were going to have fun the way the rest of the country was having fun, whether it was spring break or whether it was bringing down named, concerts, that pretty much you have to make it on your own. So you
Yeah.
make it happen. You don't sit there and wait for it to happen, because it'll never happen. And that's kind of how I've lived my entire life, is if I want something to happen, I figure out a way to do it, then I bring it. And so that's that. I mean, from starting, spring breaks in 1975, 76. I ran spring break for 7 years for Anheuser-Busch, for Camel cigarettes, for, all those companies, and had a blast doing that. Started a Hispanic modeling agency. Couldn't get us any jobs, but I got us some jobs after all. So I brought it home, and from there on, we just excelled and grown, and got into production and did a lot of TV work. And that led to me becoming a geek, because during a very hard time in my life, I kind of dedicated myself to computers and learned everything I could about them. And that's what led to everything else that's happened, um, being on the beta testers of PowerPoint for Microsoft and all that kind of stuff was pretty an incredible life. And it has been fabulous, because I think I call it, you never know who's watching.
Yes.
As long as your mind is to serve, And as long as your attitude is in the right place, it's not the money, it's whether or not you're taking care of people, and serving. And that's where people are watching. And that's what got me appointed to head the transition team for President Bush and everything else that came after that. But it was very simply a matter of how you're taking care of people.
Which I think is more important today, Tony, than it has ever been in the history of the world. We absolutely, without a doubt, have to step up. And in fact, I literally just jumped off the Global Lounge call to come and have this chat. And my direct request was, and our Global Lounge is a joint venture community that's global, where we come together for a little bit of training, meet one another, strengthen relationships, and make joint venture invitations. And my whole thing for today was, in the face of what we're dealing with right now, is like, joint venture invitations are 100% fine. But what I really want you to do is I want you to reach out, because we're all doing this at this time frame, right? I really want you to reach out when things are a shit show on wheels. Reach out to the people in the community and communicate and ask for support and connect. When things are great, I want you to reach out to people in the community and celebrate your successes and provide some inspiration. And it is that how we're going to show up and how we're going to take care of people in these times that is going to make the absolute most significant difference. Full stop.
Full on. So I think we're mainly here to celebrate what you're doing right now, Jay, and the accomplishments, and something called JVology, which is exactly what it's the study of joint ventures. And Jay is a master at that kind of thing, and he's created an incredible event, a series of events, the live, and then of course my favorite is the summit, which is a very highly regarded group of individuals that you bring together every year. They're kind of handpicked because it's invitation only kind of thing. And the summit, for the past the 2 times that I've been to a summit, I just walk out of there going, whatever it takes, I've got to be here next year, whatever it takes, because you meet it's a very small show. You're not there with 300 people. You're there with 15 to 20. And everybody has the same mindset. It's, what can we help you with? What can we serve with? What do you need from us to help you grow? Then those 3 questions get answered in 3 days, and blows you away. Just
it's quite beautiful. And that whole thing started simply from the perspective of we were going to go online on going I can't even talk. Take our business online is what I'm attempting to say. And it just became so clear to me, is like, what I really need is a tribe. What I really need is a bunch of people who understand this. What I really need are people that we can count on. What I really need is relationships of that nature. And it was like, well, I didn't see anywhere else to actually build that kind of depth. So frankly, I just built my own. And that became the foundation of what we'll call the Mastermind to Millions brand, where we help coaches, authors, experts position, launch, and lead their own masterminds. That went from a brand that didn't exist to $2.6 million in 14 months. And that was freaking awesome. So everybody should be building JV communities, and that's what our 5-day challenge is coming up is all about.
That's exactly why we're here today. Can you talk a little bit more about that? And for our viewers who have never been involved with joint ventures or this kind of thing, it can be for any kind of company. It's not just speakers, authors, healers, coaches. This is for you to establish. I mean, even in your own networking groups, you can create this.
Yeah, 100%. And so the 5-day challenge is really what I would call the high level chapter title training of, sort of what's the minimum you need to know to actually play in the JV space and make money in the JV space and create real joint venture partnerships. So we crafted, and I'm giggling because my dear friend Alina Vincent, who helped me create the challenge, and she's just brilliant at this. She was always like, no, that's too much. No, that's too long. No, you're teaching the whole course. No, that's a university degree. No. So she really did help me zero in on what are the pieces you absolutely need to win and to get a result. And so we've really broken it down into its 5 short video trainings. They're usually 7 minutes. I think the first day is a little bit longer. And then we ask you to go and take one simple action. And just to be clear about this, you don't have to reinvent the world. You don't have to reinvent your business. You just need to go take one simple action, and then come and share that in our Facebook group, where we will acknowledge, we will introduce you, where you will connect with a bunch of JV partners. And what transpires is the promise of the challenge is, it's called the Joint Venture Jumpstart, 5 partners in 5 days. So you do all of the activities, you will leave with 5 partners. We've had people leave with as many as 15 partners. We've had people get 5 partners on day 2, for goodness sake. So it's a challenge that delivers the result that we promise. And you will meet a stunning group of people, all of whom are dedicated to scaling and growing their businesses using win-win-win collaborations. And that is what JVology, the perfect mix of people, fun, and profit, stand for. So, in this time of COVID-19 and being, quarantined or at least distanced, we decided we were doing this to bring together, even if we can't physically be together, we can bring the intimacy of connecting and caring about one another while learning, I think, the most important skill in the universe, which is joint ventures, to grow and scale our businesses. Because this overall has been a time of contraction. So what we need to do is shift our energy, shift our beliefs, find a way to be abundant and to contribute so that we can create. And that's what we're going to do. And it's April 14th to 19th. I believe you have a link that I think you can put in the chat window, and you can register and just come play with us. And anyway, I get carried away about this, and I could talk for a long time. But here's the thing for me. Even if you're not sure it's for you, because you said any different industry, I have people say all the time, it's like, oh, that doesn't work in my industry. It works in every single industry under the sun. I've yet to come up with a business. I've yet to come up with a nonprofit that we couldn't set up JVs with. Anyway, I'll stop talking for a moment.
I love this, and it's so true. I was looking at the stats on my Zoom yesterday, and because Wednesdays when we have the team meeting, and by the way, is that jvology.com? Is that where I want to send folks to?
Oh, no. Give me 1 second. Because you have, because we are doing a joint venture, you have a special link that I think Michelle sent you. But if not, I can get it for you in about 32 seconds.
That would be great. Thank you. So yeah, we're going to have a link for you guys, so that you do have a place to hook in and come in with us, exactly, because now's the time. I was telling Jay yesterday at the 1:30 meeting with my team, with my company, I had done the stats that Zoom has for you, all the meetings, and as of yesterday on Wednesday, I already had 88 hours of meetings.
Wow.
For the week, with about 136 people. So this is not the time to sit back and say, oh my gosh, I'm gloom and doom and utter despair, and I think of hee-haw and could sing that song, but I won't. But word for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. But so everyone, this is exciting, and this is wonderful. And I don't know if you read, but yesterday was my birthday, and so I was having such a great time with it. And what I wanted to do was, I have 3 grandkids in Austin and 2 grandkids here in Houston. Actually, 3 grandkids here in Houston, and that was the we had a Disney trivia night. And we had a virtual birthday party, so that everybody had their brownies or cookies or cupcakes, and we had a cake, and everybody sang together via Zoom. And we had the best time with all these parents, and all my kids and their kids and my grandkids. And so this is the one that we just enjoyed it so much that they've elected to have a Friday night game night, so that we could do that. That was just too much fun. That was so cute.
Awesome. And it's funny because while it's not the same, we have been doing some sort of get-togethers on Zoom and those sorts of things, and it is surprising how great they can be, given that we're not in the same space. It's obviously not the same as being able to give one another a hug, but good Lord, it is still 1,000,000% better than not seeing one another. Now, in your private chat, I've put 2 links actually here, and there's a couple of ways in which we can support your tribe if they're interested in playing with this idea of joint ventures. One of which is there's a link that goes just directly to the challenge. You'll get all of the information, the details that you need to jump on in and play full out. And then there's also, if you want to share with them, I produced what we call the ultimate joint venture checklist. All of the things that we need to be and do and handle for our partners. And then conversely, all of the things that we should be looking for from our partners. So we do both sides of it. And that document is actually pretty freaking exceptional. And I'll be clear with you, gang, it is not aimed at beginners. It's probably more aimed at intermediate players who want to like sharpen their saw. But it can give you a glimpse into what it really looks like when it's done well. And there's a link where you can go to the checklist, and then you'll be invited to the challenge. And both of those are just great ways to come play and discover what would it be like. And I think this is the big hook, if you really get this, is that what we do at JVology is we help people reinvent their business model so that they have a steady stream of free leads at the front end from their JV partners. And let's just repeat that, a steady stream of free leads. Most businesses struggle with not enough leads. Like that's its core issue. And then on the back end, a steady stream of recurring income from our JV partners that we have served and supported. And all of that is just done under the context of what's going to serve my clients best. What is the next step on the client's journey, and how can I bring more value? So if any of those things resonate with you folks, like, for goodness sake, click the button, come join the challenge, and we're going to have a blast together. One of the things that's like our catchphrase is the perfect mix of people, fun, and profit. We take the fun seriously. That sounds silly, but it is. It's like we really do want to have fun.
That's really true. That's what it's all about. So
Yes.
that makes a lot of sense. So you're adjusting so we get to see all your pretty bookshelves back there.
I even cleaned it just for you.
The wine bottles are all gone. Okay.
No, they're up there. There's still two.
And you guys should know that every time I go to Calgary, I do take a bottle of Texas wine for our favorite connoisseur.
You are incredibly generous, and I deeply appreciate that. All right, my dear. I actually have another interview coming up at 2. Is there anything else I could answer for you, or any way I could serve and support with what you guys are working on?
That's the main thing. As I've got, actually, I present a lot of what you do to my clients, because I believe that if they're at that level or they're almost there, I encourage them to go to your groups, become a member, go to the events with me. And now that we're doing all online events, everybody's invited to go to your events with me. There's a lot of good things that are coming out of this.
Yes.
And one of them is the fact that I can introduce people like you to my clients and to my friends and say, look, this is where I learned this. We need to get you in contact with them. And the links that we just posted on the comments are phenomenal. When you see the checklist, it's just going to blow you away, because so many of us don't think that way. And for example, I have a client right now who works with doctors, and so many of them have had to close their shop. I mean, and doctors are just like us, except with bigger bills. Just the equipment alone is in the quarter millions versus, us with a car at 25,000, right?
Yeah.
And so doctors are being hit pretty hard right now as well, because they can't see anybody, and unless they've got an emergency room status, they're not working.
Right.
And so we're trying to come up with all kinds of joint ventures for them to do with each other. Especially with the telehealth and the telemed and all that kind of stuff. So we're working on that. And this is a perfect example in the real world of how you can help your clients, your friends, sustain what they're going through. So you guys, JVology is amazing. Go to the Facebook group, click on the links, get your checklist. Take the challenge. You will do nothing but learn great things. And I highly recommend Jay. So this is your guide. Jay, I love you to pieces. Thank you so much.
Love you too so much. Appreciate you.
Being the very first person on my StreamYard.
Awesome. We'll be back. We'll have you on mine. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.